Kembali kita lanjutkan segmen khusus Energi Corner CNBC Indonesia. Eksklusif untuk Anda, saya masih tersambung langsung bersama dengan Dileep Srivastava, Direktur and Corporate Secretary dari PT BUMI Resources Tbk. Still talking about the green economy, Mr. Dileep, PLN, the National Electricity Company, said they will decrease the portion of carbon energy in the future. They will start with a plan to shut down the PLTU. What is BUMI's plan to deal with that?
Well, we will support the national effort to move towards cleaner energy and PLN's efforts in this direction. Now, we believe that the move is likely to be gradual, and we will definitely observe progress. But we are committed to supplying coal domestically and meeting our domestic market obligation. Now, in Indonesia, there are constraints of constant sun and constant wind. Geothermal has its capacity limitations and feasibilities. Hydro is another. We believe that the overall power demand over the next 10 to 20 years is definitely going to increase in line with national growth. The demand for power will be there. In absolute terms, in terms of volume consumption, we believe that the coal demand should be stable at around current levels, or maybe even increasing slightly as we go downstream into gasification. But the share of coal in the national feedstock mix for power, that percentage share could register some decline. But we do not see absolute volumes being overly affected in the medium term. And definitely we will support PLN and the nation in its quest for green energy. And we are taking steps at our own sites in this direction, whether it is CSR, whether it is pollution, whether it is burning coal cleaner. And we are looking at projects where we can to some extent control emissions, and also looking at projects which can be related to carbon capture and storage, where we capture the CO2 and look at ways on how to use it commercially without releasing emissions in the air. But these are at a very, very embryonic stage. There have been developments in this regard elsewhere, and we are observing these requirements very closely. So we will move in sync with the times, and we will participate with a healthy mix of a cleaner thermal coal and an entry into green projects.
All right, now to keep us updated with the BUMI's business performance, what's BUMI plan to decrease the cost of debt, and also the restructuring plan it has that we should understand?
See, the foremost BUMI priority at present is to repay debt. We have a debt of $1.8 billion. Now, we are according repayment the highest priority. With the buoyancy in coal prices over the last 3-4 months, our ability to step up debt principal repayment starting October will be significantly higher. We think it could be even 3.5 times more. And we hope to repay full 600 million of principal of tranche A by the end of next year, if prices hold. When it comes to refinancing whatever is rest, now those are items which are occupying our mind space. But a fair amount also depends upon, our receiving some certainty with regard to the final royalty for RUPKs. And hopefully we should get our KPC RUPK by December this year, when we can actually conclude more attractive refinancing and restructuring options from our supportive lenders, which include CIC and CDB.
All right. Entering the second half of 2021, any newest plan from BUMI? Let's say BUMI's plan to prepare the downstream of the coal industry.
Well, we are progressing the methanol project from coal in the KPC area. Our current interest there is to supply coal for the project. And we understand that it's advancing. And the estimated commissioning for that project is in the end of 2024. When it comes to Arutmin, we've concluded our feasibility study, and this is under review for another methanol and downstream related project. Separately, we are looking at various others in the green energy space. And we are looking at solar possibilities from KPC and Pendopo, offering hybrid power out of KPC, exploring feasibility of various green energy projects. And I've already mentioned the core downstream projects such as methanol and some others in line with national priorities, and the government incentives are attractive to encourage this move. And separately, we are also diversifying revenue and enhance value in the near term from our listed investment in BRMS, which, as you know, covers potential super cycle metals such as gold and copper. It's already started production in Gorontalo and in Chitrapalu. And the current rights issue of BRMS should spur us to also open out opportunities in Gorontalo for gold.
All right.
Zinc
to sum up then, sir.
Is the next.
Yeah. To sum up our conversation this morning, give us some guideline, please. What is BUMI's guideline for us, the investors, by the end of 2021? What can we expect? The production plan and BUMI's target, perhaps?
Well, we have issued a guidance at the beginning of the year, and there is no change to our guidance. Last year, we did a volume of 81.5 million tons of thermal coal, taking into account the impact of the pandemic. When it comes to this year, we expect to do around 41 million tons by June. The figures are still awaited. And we hope to end the year at between 85 million to 88, 89 million tons for this year, which represents an increase of around 5 or 6% over last year, in spite of pandemic conditions where we are taking very stringent control measures and safety measures to ensure normalcy of production as far as possible. Now, we have been challenged, of course, by weather conditions. There's been unusually very high rainfall, which has continued into July, which has run down our stocks and our ability to find the right mix, but we are keeping our end going. We are maximizing shipments, and we are confident that we should be able to achieve that number of 85 million tons base, probably going up if we can. The prices have been buoyant, as I mentioned before, and it would not be unreasonable to assume that there would be a 25, 30% increase in revenue.
All right. Dileep Srivastava, you are the Director and Corporate Secretary of PT BUMI Resources Tbk. Really appreciate your time, sir, and best of luck for you and BUMI Resources. Good morning, Mr. Dileep.